Nancy was supposed to be the speaker, and Nancy is not feeling well, so Melanie is taking over, and so we appreciate that. And she's going to do what Nancy had already set up to have done today. Melanie was supposed to be the pulpit assistant, and so now I'm the pulpit assistant. So let me see if I can get this right. I want to welcome everybody else, anybody new today, so thank you all for coming and spending the first day of 2017 with us. We appreciate that. Let's see, our reader today is Ann. Our musician is wonderful Bill today. We're always glad to have him here. Ann?
Today, I just picked a few verses that I found about the New Year. And Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year.
As the year as the year comes to a close, it is time for reflection, a time to release all thoughts and beliefs and forgive old hurts. Whatever has happened in the past year, the new year brings fresh beginnings. Exciting new experiences and relationships await. Let us be thankful for the blessings of the past and the promise of the future. To make 2017 your year, keep it simple. 1, count your blessings first. 2, whatever you did last year, do it better. 3, go step by step, one day at a time. 4, create. Make your own opportunities. 5, believe in your abilities at all times. 6, quitting is not an option. Keep going. And 7, finish what you started. Mother Time. We all get the exact same 365 days. The only difference is what we do with them. Let me give you a New Year message. Believe in yourself. Because no one ever achieved anything significant without believing in himself, and no one ever will. Believe in yourself powerfully, especially when there is no reason left to believe in yourself, because the ultimate bottom is the best place to start, a big rise. I hope in this year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. So that's my wish for you, and all of us, and my wish for myself. Make new mistakes nobody's ever made before. Don't freeze, don't stop. Don't worry that it isn't good enough. or it isn't perfect, whatever it is, art or love or work or family or life. Whatever it is you're scared of doing, do it. Make your mistakes this year and forever. In the new year, never forget to thank your past years because they enabled you to reach today. Without the stairs of the past, you cannot arrive at the future. And lastly, as the old year retires and a new one is born, we commit into the hands of our Creator the happenings of the past year and ask for direction and guidance in the new one. May He grant us His grace, His tranquility, and His wisdom.
Okay, our opening hymn is number 72, Song for the New Year. We'll sing all 3 verses. Number 72, all 3 verses.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
I feel so comfortable with you guys, so I didn't mind stepping in and taking up this role while Nancy's home recuperating. May God richly bless her, right, as she's healing. In Galatians 5:22, we hear these words. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness. And in Colossians, we hear this. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts. Oh, my friends. Are we doing that? I believe that love is fulfilling the law. If you agree with me, give me a nod. That way I don't feel so alone up here. It's the spirit of love that fills us. Now, as you go through your daily doings, are you thinking about love? What I love about this place is that we learn to do that, right? We learn to do that. So if you're feeling irritable one day, or critical one day, or maybe not demonstrating mercy like you want to, that's my big one. I'm working on the don't judge but have mercy, feel mercy. Keep in mind that it's this power of love that is going to rule your day if it rules your heart. Gentleness, mercy, kindness. These are like the wings of love. That's how I think of them. The wings of love. Look in your life each day for the Spirit and then for the fruits of that Spirit. What is that Spirit bringing forth in you? If it's not love, ask yourself, why not? If it's not joy, ask yourself, why not? And if it's not peace or gentleness, ask yourself, why not? Why is this not who I am? Here in our little community of faith, we know what God is. So let me hear from you a little bit of what those inherencies of God are, because that's what we are. Do you know what they are? Joy. That's one of my big ones, right? I believe joy is always abiding. It's always with you. You're just growing into your understanding of it. Something else?
Empathy.
Peace, empathy, knowledge, right? Wisdom. We are those things because we are individualized expressions of God. So how can peace not rule our lives? And I believe as we begin to let peace rule our lives and let the fruits of the Spirit come forth, we're changing the world. We're changing the world one person at a time. Because when people see love and joy and peace in you, I guarantee you they're going to want to be by your side. I want to be around people who are joyous and peaceful and loving, don't you? Yeah, Colossians 3:15. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts. It's up to you. It's there, so why not allow it? Amen?
Amen.
All right, peace be with you today. Stay with me today, our statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and I'm ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Morning.
Thank you. It is a good morning because I woke up. I'm going to do a tune. The first tune I'm going to do is by Jerome Kern. It's called The Way You Look Tonight. And I hope I look better tonight, last night than I did this morning. We'll see. See how it goes.
young man. That was gorgeous. Well, it's time for a very special few minutes where we can calm ourselves, take a few breaths in. My hope is that you'll feel the power of this time just like I do. It's one of my favorite times, where we can turn our minds inside. Before we turn inward, let us hold a space, a holy and precious space, for those who have asked for our prayers, either through these slips of paper that I hold, or through an open heart, a reaching for help, for truth, for healing. May we know for them as we know for ourselves that we are peace and health. And I believe that it is God's will that every need be supplied. We ask and count on that all prayers are answered, that help is realized, and peace is truly lived. Amen. Now, take a breath in with me, please. Breathe out. The words that I'm about to say, may they be a precious sound. Forget for a few moments the space, the skin, and the thoughts that divide us. Let us realize our oneness here for the next few minutes. For this is truly a holy ground we're on. As you turn inside to your God center, know that you are spirit, which is immortal. Feel the peace, which is freedom. Realize your health, which is changeless. Know the wisdom, which is perfect. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Know that nature in you, which is harmony. Know the life which is eternal. Know that you are activity, that you are creation, that you are co-creator. Know that success in you, which is prosperity. Feel and realize the supply in you, which is abundance. Know that you are love, which is conscious unity together. Let's breathe in and breathe out. My friends, we are abiding in truth. This This is your divinity. And it is this truth that makes you free. God is all there is. We are born of God. From His form, we are spirit substance. And from God's life, we are ceaseless activity, which we can proudly and happily call creative power. We are ever unfolding into this truth. And we realize more and more of God's love, our true nature. Sit for just a few moments in full consciousness of your wholeness and perfection, your eternal state of being. And know that where you are, God is. I hope this day that you're feeling the love. And when I say I love you, I have the wonderful opportunity to speak for each of us. May love fill you, as it always has, forever. Now you pray with me the Lord's Prayer in its present tense. The one Jesus taught to those gathered around Him. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed is thy name. Thy kingdom is come. Thy will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Thou givest us this day our daily bread. Thou forgivest us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Thou leadest us not into temptation, but dost deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Oh, I love that time. It always feels so good to me. I hope it feels good to you. Now, I hope Nancy will forgive me, but I cannot take her idea without injecting some of my ideas, too. So, here I am, and here are some of my ideas. Welcome to our Release and Embrace service. Yeah, it's the new year. And if you've been thinking of a New Year's resolution, stop it. Stop it. Instead, I'd like to tell you a story of Lent. I'll begin with a little personal anecdote here. My son was a young teenager. And if you're a man here today, you probably can recall those days, right? The glory days of being a young man, young teenager, maybe 14. And without thinking, he did something he shouldn't have done. My response to him at that time was, "Son, what were you thinking?" That was my first mistake. Because he said to me with all honesty and truth, Mom, do you really want to know? I said, yeah, I really want to know. He said, pizza, 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 girls. Girls, girls, pizza, 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 girls, pizza, pizza. I said, okay, get it. I know where your thoughts are now as a young teenager. Pizza. So when Lent came around and my son decided to give up pizza for 40 days, I was impressed. This was not going to be easy for him. It was going to be sacrifice, and I knew it. At first, my heart was like, oh, how sweet. He's giving up pizza for 40 days. And he did. And I was very proud of him. But now at 26, if I ask him, what were you thinking? He'll probably still say, pizza, pizza, beer, pizza, 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 right? Yeah. America's most loved food, pizza. Well, it was that same year that I made a decision to give up something for Lent, not something that I loved. All my girlfriends, you know, they were giving up nail polish for 40 days, or they weren't going to eat chocolate, or drink sodas, or give up coffee, things they loved. One of my friends even said, I'm going to give up movies. I'm not going to watch a movie for 40 days. And I believe it was my inner spirit talking to me that said, don't give up something you love. Give up something real, something you need to give up. I gave up guilt for Lent. And people said to me, what? You're not going to be sacrificing? You're not going to be suffering for 40 days? I said, I know, isn't that wonderful? I'm going to give up something I really need to be without. I need to be without guilt and shame. See, I was brought up in one of those denominations that taught that from the moment you could understand English, that you should feel guilty, you're a sinner, and you should feel shameful and guilty. And shameful and guilty. I was an adult with a teenage son before I gave up guilt and shame. Those 40 days were up, I didn't take it back. And so now, into my adulthood, I'm almost a senior adult. The only good thing about that's my discount coffee. No, I'm happy to be who I am. But I've never taken back the guilt. So keep that in mind today when we think of our release. Release something that really is harmful to you, something that is not who you are at all. Forget about a New Year's resolution, right? Research says that those last for maybe 10 minutes. Or maybe day 1, January 1. You know, your New Year's resolution to hit the gym every day. Day 1. Maybe 1 week, but then that's it. So research says those don't work. So when we release today, that's such a freeing thing to do. So I'm glad you got up after your night of celebrating the new year coming, and you're here to release today and then to embrace. I'm going to share with you some things from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He actually put out and produced 18 rules for living. With all due respect to the Dalai Lama, I do not agree with all of them. However, you will leave here today with your own copy. Okay? But I will talk to you about maybe 3 or 4 that I think are essential for a New Year's living. And my desire is that they're going to inspire you, to stretch you, that they're going to help you go within and strive for more, to be more, to grow more. And I call that living out loud. Right? No more hiding your light under a bushel. Let's live out loud 2017, starting not when this day's over, but right this very second. This is rule number 2 from the Dalai Lama. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. Is that not rich? Is that not rich? If you lose, do not lose the lesson. I want to share with you one thing I've been trying to do. And I say trying because I'm still growing into it. I'm still becoming it. I'm still working on it. I shared this at Happy Chat, all my Happy Chat friends. Here.
Yay.
I've really tried lately, and I will try into my future, to see every situation as the situation. No judgment about good or bad. But in that situation, to ask myself, am I here to teach something, or am I here to learn something in this situation? It is life-changing. See, the old me, the me that I'm giving up, would judge a situation. Oh, this is terrible, this is terrible. What that person did to me is awful. I'm not going to be able to get over that. So I would nurse it and rehearse it, right? Just over and again. Then my friends would come over. You're not going to believe what's happened. I can't get over this. This is killing me, blah, blah. And then I would rehearse it. Well, he said blah, 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 and I felt blah, 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 and then I thought blah, blah, as he said blah, blah, blah. I just rehearsed it like it was getting ready for a big movie production, right? Then there was some nursing, right? Come feel bad with me, you know. Tell me what you think. How would you have done this? Nurse it a little bit. Gone. Gone. No situation can be good or bad for me anymore. It's just a situation. And in that situation, I'm going to choose to either be the person learning a lesson or the person teaching a lesson. And the only way I can teach it is through loving, right? Well, I'm happy to tell you that there was a particular situation you probably heard me boo-hoo about not long ago. I had to choose in that case to be a teacher. And so I waited patiently, like any teacher will, for the learning to come along. And I'm happy to report it. It's coming right along. And now in that same situation, I'm finding myself learning the lesson as well. So the Dalai Lama and Melanie Hollis say to you, if you feel like you're losing in a situation, for goodness sakes, don't lose the lesson. That was a good one. High five, Molly. Then there's rule number 14 that he says is an important thing that you must do for living a healthy life. Share your knowledge. He writes, it's a way to achieve immortality. Heavy stuff. Share your knowledge. That's another way of living right out loud. Do you hear what I'm saying? When somebody says to me, I don't know how you deal with that, I'm going to tell them. Right? If they're asking me, what would you do? I'm going to tell them my new learning. Right? I'm going to let them know what it says in Colossians. I'm going to let them know what Marita says in the pulpit. I'm going to let them know what my friends tell me, who are my family, my spiritual family, my church family. I'm going to live it out loud. Now that takes bravery. Take a look inside yourself and ask yourself, how many times do you live it right out loud? Now you don't have to raise your hand, because I know some of you do all the time, and some of you are still trying to do it all the time. And like me, I'm still growing into that, right? I'm still growing into that. Because I want to feel empathy. I want to take on, I want people to find me to be a good listener. So I don't want to invalidate their feelings. But at the same time, if they ask, I'm going to tell them. Right? It's because God lives within me and God lives within you too. I'm going to use the words of Jesus from the New Testament. Right? He said it. He said you can do all these things and even more. So I'm going to spread that good news. Yes. I'm going to share my knowledge. And that means sometimes, friends, you're going to have to be the teacher in the situation. And it's easier to teach something that you've practiced. So I say keep practicing the presence, right? The omnipresence. So that when that situation comes, you're the teacher and you're happy to do it. He says it's a way to achieve immortality. Now, rule number 17, as you can tell, I'm skipping around. He says, remember that the best relationship is one in which your love for each other, and this one makes me want to get teary, the best relationship is one in which your love for each other way exceeds your need for each other. Now, am I the only one who thinks that's really special? But your love for each other exceeds your need for each other. Now, I'm going to touch on a point that may cause some to shiver, because I hear it from my church family all the time. You don't have to be in church, right, to feel God. I know, amen. I believe that. Or they may say, I'm going to take a break from church. Those are the kind of words that make me get that little shiver. Because I dare say we are the church. It's not about this music, although it's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's not about the special words that you may hear, although those are wonderful and valuable. It's not about what I'm saying today. It's about loving each other. It's about being here for each other. I am in full realization of the omnipresence of God. And I am in full realization of the omnipresence in me of some of you. And my goal is for it to be all of you. I want to know you. I want to know what makes you laugh. I want to know what makes you cry. I want to be there in those tough times when you're learning the lesson. Ouch, right? When you're learning the lesson. I want to be there with you in the times when you are the most joyous, or shall I say, expressing the most joy. Yes, we're one. So let's make a commitment to each other in this new year. And come and be with me, not because I need you, but because I love you and because you love me. We can come together for a short time each week, right? Maybe more than once. Maybe on Wednesday, or maybe Thursday, or maybe Monday, or maybe coffee on Saturday. I'd like to be invited to that sometime. And now we're going to move to rule number 18, which is one of my favorite from the Dalai Lama's list of rules for living. It says, judge your success, not anybody else's, by the way. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. And my friends, we do not have a God of pain and suffering and sacrifice. So let me say that I'm going to edit the Dalai Lama just a little. Judge your success by how much guilt you laid down this year and will lay down in the coming. How much pride you left behind. And I will even take this moment to add in spiritual pride. You know what I'm talking about. That pride that says, oh, I'm much wiser than you are because I've been doing this longer than you have, right? Or I meditate more times a week than you do, so sister, listen to what I have to say, right? That kind of spiritual pride. Judge your success by how much anger you are not letting take hold of you. Maybe judge your success by how much anger you are purposely and with full knowledge saying, get behind me, right? Let's judge our success in the new year that way. And then, because the Dalai Lama thought these out carefully, he listed a few things for you to consider. Some questions. Here are two of them. As you go into this new year, let go of your New Year's resolution and ask yourself, how am I going to share the knowledge and the wisdom that I have? How am I going to do that? What will it look like? What will it sound like? And what will it feel like to those I'm sharing with? And then here was the other question. What are the values by which you're going to live your life? I'd like to rephrase that into, how are you going to best show your love in January 1, starting right now? And while I won't do a sermon on this, sometimes the best way to show your love is to say no. And if you know what I mean, let me hear an amen.
Amen.
Yeah, sometimes the best way to show your love is to say no. So let's make a commitment into this new year. And we have a way to do that. I'm going to ask an usher or two, or just a friendly hand, to give to you these two papers and an envelope, and of course your own copy of Rules for Living to take home and digest and marinate with. I'm sorry to say all of my notes are not included on those. So I'm going to ask you, don't read them right now. Take them home. They're for you to digest in the personal loving space of your own home. But I am going to ask you to whip out a pencil, and we have some of those at the back if you don't have a pen or pencil. And we're going to do the release part of the service, and then we'll do the embrace part. Okay? So you have this little envelope and two pieces of paper. Let's all be good listeners and let's look just at number 1. Got yours yet? Now we have some more people over here without a paper.
We got it, we're getting them.
We're coming.
Does anybody need a pencil?
We need it too.
Okay, we got them.
Anybody want a pencil? Have a writing utensil? Does everybody have a pencil? We need it too. A number 2? Oh, yeah, you must have a number 2.
Everybody got pencil, paper?
All right. Number 1, look at page number 1. It says, I release the following thoughts, habits, and limitations that block my good. And I am open to the divine within me to raise my consciousness and my life to be a channel for love. And these, my friends, are going to be buried in the garden. We're going to release them to the earth. And from what I understand is a biodegradable container, so that they are gone. And I'm going to encourage you not to ever take them back. For me, it was guilt. I released it. Write down, and you don't have to put your name, but write down something you would truly like to release. And then we're going to release it to the goodness of the universe, to God within us. And I believe it will be gone. On page number 1. I release the following. Now don't put these in the envelope. We're going to use that one for number 2. Don't worry, you'll get adequate time. Something you want to release. It could be a thought. It could be a relationship. Don't worry, you're still one with that person, forever and always. You might want to release your thoughts of lack. Envy, that's a good one. Give that one away. going to hold it up. So we can bless the releasing. Hopefully by holding up, you're already feeling the release. Most gracious God, I release this to your unbounding, unlimited wisdom. Thank you for that great experience of release. And thank you that I will never take it back. And everyone said, Amen.
Amen.
All right, if you'll just pass them down. We're not going to peek. But I'm going to ask for that lovely box. You want to come out and flip on this side? Is everyone over here? Have a release? Do you have a release? No. Okay. Is that all of them? Just was everybody? Oh, you have one here? I'm going to let Jan take the release box.
Does anybody else have it?
Take a deep breath in. Oh, doesn't that feel good? I think that deserves an applause. Yeah, there it goes. Thank you. And even though I do not know who will be the critical barrier of the release, I want to thank them ahead of time. Thank you. Now I hope that this one's going to feel even better for you. Look at page number 2. I invite the following thoughts, experiences, and habits into my life, knowing that they are for my highest good.
Teacher, Miss Reese hasn't finished her homework yet.
I open to the divine within me to raise my consciousness and my life to be a channel for love. This is your opportunity to invite a new way of thinking, or one that you've been practicing and would like to perfect. I'm inviting into my life more opportunities to share my love. I might want to invite into my life feelings of peace, maybe feelings and thoughts of prosperity, and I do mean in all areas of your life. Prosperity comes in many forms, not just in a money form, right? Invite something into your life right now and write it down. Now, I'm not going to say think big or go home. I'm just going to say think big. Right? Gabby was once learning to swim. And as she stood on the edge of the pool, I held out my arms and said, jump, come on, I've got you. She still said no. She said, I want Wanda's arms. I said, okay, why? She said, I don't think yours are long enough. I'm assuring you, God has long enough arms. What is it you desire? Your deepest desire comes from God's deepest love for you. So invite it in. It goes in this little envelope. And if you will write your address on the front, Valley Community Church will mail this back to you next year. So you can evaluate or reevaluate. Did I trust God's loving long arms? I So I want to put that into a new year as well. So if you'll put it in, if you don't want to write your address now, we'll look it up. But it'll be helpful if you write your address and your name, of course. Don't forget your name. Seal it shut. No one's going to open it but you. Feeling excited for you. I'll come by and collect if you want to hold those up. Thank you. I'll come back by if you don't have it yet. Anything to pass down yet? Thank you. Don't worry if you don't have it ready yet. I'll tell you all pass it down to me. Just hold it up so I can find you. We're still writing. Take all those pencils too. I'm a teacher, you never leave a pencil away. Pass them down. Okay, that's a good idea. Let me pray for it and then I'll get it back to you. All right. Do I have everyone's now? Okay. If you will, raise your arm this way. Just raise your hand this way. Most gracious God, we bless these invitations. We invite you to be full, rich, vigorous, active, creative in our lives. We trust in you, for we are a part of you. And where we are, God always is, and all will be not just well, but spectacular. Happy New Year, everyone. Amen. Happy New Year. All right. Anybody else not have theirs turned in yet? All right. Yeah, play us some beautiful music. Don't worry. Trust me, I'm going to take care of them.
tune is written by George Gershwin. It's called A Foggy Day. I think it's supposed to be in London, but the other day it was in Roanoke.
gift that you share with us. Now it's time for our blessing of the gifts. Please pray with me. Today I acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundance in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God, omnipresent, blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God. Now we're passing the prayer basket. These are people who we want to pray for, and we want to bring abundance of health and thoughts of all that is good into their lives. And of course, you will be blessed as well.
Don't worry about it, please.
Now our prayer basket, hopefully, as it makes its way to the other side, I'd like you to take this moment to say thank you to someone behind you or beside you. Let's say thank you for your funds, your time, your talents, all of which are signs of God's gracious love.
That's the thing, as I've said before, I thank everybody for all that they do for the church, because it's not only the money that you give, but it's all your talents, your music, everything that's done at this church is done voluntarily, and we couldn't do it without you, so we really appreciate all that everybody does, whether it's vacuuming the floor or whatever you do, we appreciate it. So again, thank you so much for everything that all of you do. This is birthday Sunday. We did not have birthday cake today. Main reason is because we still have lots of cookies and stuff left from last night and the holidays, so we will have birthday cake next Sunday, but we will sing happy birthday today. The January birthdays are Sue Lee, Kamara Rosehart, Jeanette Keener, and Martha Edwards, and Martha is the only one that's here today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Martha. Happy birthday to you.
I'm going to make the announcements short today. We're having potluck on January the 15th, which is the third Sunday of the month. I did want to, Kate and I haven't gotten together about the events for this coming year, but if you have anything that you want us to consider, please tell us, because we're pretty open for most everything, so just let us know. So we'll be working on that hopefully sometime this month, after we get settled back in school. This week's flowers are given by Laurel for Dale's birthday. Happy birthday from last month. Also wanted to make one announcement. Laurel sent me an email. We got a letter from Kroger's. As all of you know, we can associate our Kroger card with the church, and we can get 5% back of whatever we spend. So way back we used to get $300 and some every quarter. This quarter it has dropped to $95. And so they're telling us that only 7 people have their cards associated with the Kroger, with them. So a lot of people do not know, and I've made this announcement before, that you have to do it every year. You have to go back online and renew it every year. I get an email. I got an email back 2 or 3 months ago to say it. Go in and make sure that it was updated. So if you do have your card associated with the church to get it, please go online and make sure that it's still Center Valley Community Church, because after a year they evidently don't do it anymore. So And if you don't have an email, go on, there's a number, I think, on the back of the program card that you can, that you can do that with. But I know at one time we had more than 7 people that had their cards associated with that. So anything like $300 to $95 is a big drop per quarter for us. So if you're willing to do that, we greatly appreciate it. But if you do have your card, please make sure that you check it and make sure that it's updated every year. And we appreciate that.
Do you have a special code or a special number? No.
Just the Kroger card that you have. Well, we do, the Valley Community Church has a code, but if your card was already associated with it, it would already be on there.
Okay.
But if you have any trouble, let me know and I can help you with that.
I don't have the code.
Or actually, when you go on the email for Kroger, they have a list of all the organizations. Yes. Okay, that's going to do it. Y'all come next door for refreshments and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh, sorry, forgot. Last hymn. Second hymn is number 9, Let There Be Love on Earth. It's all the way through.